Live from Altavista High School, it's time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country, taking on the Gretna Hawks. I'm Kyle Haney. With me tonight, my esteemed colleague and co-host, the one and only Stat Guy Bob, Mr. Bob Albus.
Friday Bob, end of the week Bob, whatever you want to call me.
Nice.
Altavista Gretna, Kyle, you know what I like more than broadcasting with you is a good old-fashioned rivalry game. And even though it's not been a rivalry, if you look at the numbers in the last few years, whenever the Hawks and Colonels played, no matter if it's basketball, checkers, whatever, you're going to get a intense effort.
Troy Harris echoed those sentiments. He said pretty much the same thing, except he
talked about checkers.
He did not mention checkers, but he mentioned tennis. He said, I think even when Altavista and Gretna get together in tennis, it's a rivalry and a battle, and for sure it's going to be one tonight. We'll learn more about the Gretna Hawks here as the Subway pregame show continues. Some special shout-outs, some to the Subway gang on Main Street, of course, and then we'll send a few to the folks up the road inside Foster Fuels. Of course, the third Subway of Altavista location is inside Walmart on Clarion Road. We hope you'll visit all three. Maybe not in one night, though, Bob. That might not be so healthy for you. But, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You put them in the refrigerator, you have them the next day. You know my feelings on that.
There you go. Speaking of refrigerators, it's cold and wet outside. Get indoors. Come see us in the gym tonight, or if you can't make it out to see the game live, stay around with us on 105.5 so you can join the party. Let's hear from the head coach, Troy Harris, right after this. It's the Subway pregame show, the Altavista Colonels, the Gretna Hawks. It's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns from Altavista High School. Gretna Hawks in town for a rivalry affair against the Altavista Colonels. And we're talking once again with the head coach of the Colonels, Mr. Troy Harrison. Coach Harris, let's review a little bit. It was another rival on Tuesday, the William Campbell Generals. You beat them by 10 points. I'm just guessing, and you can let me know after I ask the question, but I feel like you were probably pretty pleased with the second and third quarters, not as pleased with the first and the fourth.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. We locked down on them pretty good defensively in the middle two quarters, and then the fourth quarter it got real sloppy and ugly, and we really did play their game in the fourth quarter. You know, we started subbing some, and that may have something to do with the guys being in positions they weren't used to being in and getting some, new legs out there. And yeah, they put 23 points on us in the fourth quarter, which is unimaginable for us after only giving up 30 the other night for the whole game at Appomattox. So there were definitely some good spots, and then the first and definitely the fourth quarter were things that we talked about in practice this morning.
Well, and I know even with those guys that maybe don't play as much, or if you have guys out of position, like you said, I know you still have the same expectations for them as far as the defense, the rebounding, that kind of thing, correct?
Yeah, the same expectations are there, and, we practice, we mix them up in practice where they're in those spots, and then once somebody starts paying to see you play, that's when you got to start bringing that practice out. And it just sort of seemed that we weren't quite ready to go in the fourth quarter defensively when we started subbing in. Had to put the starters back in for a minute or two to, hold the lead and then put the other guys back in. And I think it'll be beneficial down the road when they come in later, and we've been there before, and they'll do better the next time, I hope.
Well, a lot of bright spots for you guys offensively as well. I mean, couple dunks, 5 3-pointers from 5 different people. It makes it pretty tough for a defense to key on one guy when you have the ability to spread it around like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're one of those teams. I like to say we're the 04 Pistons that beat the Lakers. If you remember those teams, everybody was really good. They had guys scoring, and you couldn't pick out which ones were going to score each and every night. So I sort of, analogize, I don't think that's a word, but back to those 04 Pistons, that, it's a team thing on defense and offense for us. We need everybody contributing. If we get more than 2 or 3 people in double digits, it's hard to beat us. And we're scoring 64 points. That's like season high, I believe, and we need more of that coming out tonight.
You guys on this team remember that 04 Pistons team? That was a while ago. You got to go on YouTube and show them the clips and that kind of thing?
They know who those players are. They may not realize that they were on the 04 Pistons, though.
Right. That's great. Well, let's talk about some players tonight, though. I like that. The Gretna Hawks in town. They don't have the best win-loss record in the world, so I'm sure the first thing you got to be careful about is overlooking them.
Absolutely. I've already told them, you throw the record books out the window when Altavista and Gretna get to play in anything. It doesn't matter what it is, football, basketball, tennis, it doesn't matter. Throw the record book out because they're going to come in here wild and crazy. They'll bring half the town tonight, I would hope, and most of the town for us will be here tonight. And, yeah, you really can't overlook them, even though I don't believe they've won a game. Maybe they won one early. I don't know. But we've seen them play. Very athletic, and they're wild all over the place. And if you take them lightly, they'll hang some points on you if you're not careful.
I remember in the Christmas tournament, it felt like you guys came out slow in the first quarter, both games. Do you think that was because you didn't have school and no school today because of Lee Jackson Day? Is that an issue for you? You're not really thinking about that?
I hope it's not an issue. We've addressed that. I think that day we didn't get to practice in the morning because I had a meeting to go to, and we did get a shoot-around in this morning, got our legs loose, got some shots up. And hopefully that won't be a problem, especially it'll be juiced up in there tonight with the big crowd.
Yeah, the crowd should help. Always does. We're ready for the tip-off between the Gretna Hawks and the Altavista Colonels in about 15 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors,
home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns from Altavista High School. The Gretna Hawks in town. Short drive up Route 29 to take on the Altavista Colonels. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. Bob, can we talk about Subway just a little bit? Let me send out some shout-outs
here. A little bit?
Good call.
I'll talk about it all day.
Good call. I love it. Let me send out some shout-outs here as we get going. The crew up at Foster's. Now, not all these people are working right now, Bob, but the Foster Fuel crew, Angie, Nicole, Callie, Whitney, Alyssa, and Dylan. It's a great crew up there at Foster Fuels. Oscar and I discussed that folks need to utilize that location a little bit more. You're going back and forth to Lynchburg all the time, so it makes perfect sense. You pop right in there, easy on and off Route 29, and then you're all set. Bob's got fans in the house. We'll let you get some shout-outs in here. Just relax, man. And then let me mention also a big hello and welcome to the Subway crew on Main Street that served us tonight. Linda, Tinsley, and Natalie. They're doing an outstanding job. Natalie prepared the flattiza with meticulous expert abilities, and I really enjoyed it. Linda mentioned that she is rooting for the Gretna Hawks tonight, Bob. She's a Gretna. Her kids go to Gretna. Pardon me. Her kids go to Gretna. I said we encourage that. We want all the different fan bases to stop by and join the party. I'm sure you've got a shout-out or two lined up, or do you want to talk some basketball?
No, I really don't yet.
Oh,
so, I mean, later on. But let's talk some hoops.
Let's do it.
Colonels are playing very well. Again, I talk about it every time I get to be on these airwaves, but I think really exceeding expectations after that first hiccup of the year. Then they lose to Rustburg later on. But the Colonels had reeled off 8 straight at one point, and now have hit 2 more straight. Very impressive victory, I thought, last Friday against Appomattox, a team that pushed Dan River to the limit and only lost by 2 down there in Ringgold. Ringgold, you don't go in there and act like you own the place. That is a tough place to play.
Colonels have to go there Tuesday. But let's talk about this one. We'll get to Dan River at the end of this game. This one tonight with the Gretna Hawks, and we should probably discuss the win against William Campbell on Tuesday some, Bob. A 10-point victory against the Generals. You heard Coach Harris talk about it. It was a good win. Second and third quarters were really good for the Colonels. First quarter was more of an even battle. In fact, William Campbell led by 1 point at the end of the first. Fourth quarter, things slipped away from Altavista just a little bit, and you got to give William Campbell some credit. They still played hard. Not that the Colonels didn't play hard, but as you and I have discussed numerous times, Bob, sometimes when you get up big by 20, it's hard to keep your edge. It's hard to keep that same kind of intensity when you have such a big lead.
I've been saying that for years. I mean, and you really need, and I think one problem that Coach Harris alluded to in that pregame interview, and I don't know if it's really a problem, but you really have to find a mixture once you put in the subs, kind of maybe how many guys can I put in, how many guys do I need to leave out? Because even if you're up by 20 in the fourth quarter, you still want a chemistry of some type or another, because you don't want to have to. The worst thing I think any coach would have to experience is you take out all the starters and then you have to end up putting them all back in at the same time. Nobody wants to do that, and nobody wants to have that done either to them or for them either.
Right, yeah, it's difficult to be on either side of that. Probably more difficult to be on the losing side for sure. But we digress, as sometimes that does happen on the Subway pregame show. So glad that you are joining us. Rainy and slick out there, so please be safe. Go slow on your way to the ball game. Or if you want to listen to us, just get the fire crackling a little bit and turn us on the radio there. That'd be a nice evening, wouldn't it? That sounds like something our buddy Scott Wilson would do. He might use the TuneIn app or at kdcountry.com. But we don't care, just as long as you got us on somehow. Let's step aside, another timeout on the Subway pregame show. We'll bring it back with some more thoughts about this one, the starting lineups, and it'll be tip-off before you know it between the Altavista Colonels and the Gretna Hawks. You've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motor Sales. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out that had less than perfect credit to give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Spec Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns from Altavista High School. Yes, it was Flatteeza Friday, Bob. I had the usual 2 Flatteezas, delicious stuff. You went with the old school, the BLT, correct?
Yeah, and this is the funny thing about Subway, and I don't mean this in a bad respect, but they always ask you, what do you want on the BLT? Well, I want the BL and the T. I mean, some of those people don't know what a BLT is, unfortunately.
It's not as prominent as it used to be. Eleanor Haney, our fantastic sound engineer, and we have a bonus sound engineer tonight. Our new KD Country team member, Rachel, helping out on the sound quality and production tonight. She's from Florida, by the way, Bob. Bob was wondering, well, where is she from? Bob wants to know the background and the bio. We'll get to that as the season goes on. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, went with the coffee. Again, coffee is for closers only. Always be closing, Bob. What do you think these Gretna Hawks have to do to pull off the upset here? Because on paper, they're overmatched. Hawks have not won a game. Colonels come into this ball game at 10-2.
Well, one thing that Hawks definitely need to do is score more in the first quarter than they scored against Dan River. That was a 2-point first quarter against the Wildcats. You cannot let Altavista get out on you that quick. I mean, the rivalry part of it, I think everybody knows, when you see Altavista on the unis, if you're Gretna or vice versa, that's like seeing red for the bull. I mean, you're ready to go. I don't think you mentioned, hey, it's been about 24, 25 games now since we've beaten these guys because, like I told you earlier, Kyle, my daughters are 8 and 9 now. They weren't even born.
Yeah, last time Gretna...
Those Pistons?
Yeah, that's what Troy was talking... Troy, Coach Harris. His name is Troy, but it was a little too informal there for the broadcast, maybe. That's what Coach Harris was talking about, those 04 Pistons. That was the last time the Gretna Hawks beat Altavista, correct? 2004.
03.
03. 03. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was 2003. But either way, it's been so long now. But I'm with you. I'm not sure it does a whole lot of good to bring it up in the team huddle or in practice. These guys on this team weren't a part of those teams.
And they beat them 3 times that year. So I don't know if they were thinking 3 were going to carry over, but not for that many years. I mean, the Hawks, really have got to want to get one. But, I mean, Gretna right now is unfortunately on one of the valleys. They're trying to get back up to the peak, but you've got to run. You've got to walk before you can run.
I agree. It's going to take some time. It's a process for sure. Looks like we're about ready to start the national anthem here from Altavista High School. Before we step aside, let me remind you folks that our starting lineup can't be beaten. Folks like the Moose Family Center in Altavista bring you this ball game, and they're bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29 just south of the airport. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, helping Altavista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction service. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. KCD Maintenance, Kenny can do it. Maintenance. Call 665-1333 to get in touch with Kenneth Hankins. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Shout out to George and Hector and the whole crew down there at Highview Motors. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English is your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping it cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. And Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Now it's time for our national anthem. We'll step aside, tip off between the Colonels and the Hawks right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Hi, I'm Tracy Robinson of First National Bank. Did you know there are great home mortgage opportunities available right now? With rates being at an all-time low and 100% financing, our recognized mortgage lenders will deliver the right loan for your needs. Put this together with our other progressive mortgage products, our fast local service, and we're ready to lend. First National Bank, over 100 years of dependable custom banking. For you and your money, that's important. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here. I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
This broadcast is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
It's Chef's Drive-In, keeping drive-ins alive with hometown pride and service.
One-stop mart where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy at Broad Street can relieve your pain.
Vista Food. Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and the best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and now serving breakfast all day.
KD Country Basketball Broadcast, brought to you by members of the Altavista Sports Club.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway pregame show returns for its final segment. National anthem was a recorded rendition. Pep Band not here today, Mr. Alvis, but that's okay. We're not going to let it dampen our spirits one bit, and we look forward to the return of the Pep Band next time the Colonels are at home. As I say that, the lights go out and the light show begins. Listen to the roar of the crowd, Mr. Alvis. You know, we always struggle to describe the atmosphere when the lights come on, but it sure is something else, and it's not equaled on the high school level, at least not to my knowledge, not around our area.
Yeah, I don't know. We head out here and there. We might have to rely on some of our other experienced colleagues who get to other games as well to let us know. And you can tweet us, by the way, the Sports Buffet or KD Country.
There you go.
It's KD Country Radio, right?
Yeah, that's it.
On Twitter. That's it. So let us know if you've seen the light show at another high school venue in Virginia locally. But, yeah, it's a special thing. It started when Mike Carlero was here, and it is continued with Troy Harris.
Well, they paid big money for those lights, not just going to get rid of them because of the coaching change.
Coach Carlero did not have a patent on them to take them up to Rockbridge or Buena Vista area.
I'm just giving you a hard time. The Gretna Hawks are in town, and they will start number 1, Malik Stone. Number 2, Travis Hogan. Number 4, Ray Inge. Number 35, Taquan Younger. And number 5, Lance Bain. The Altavista Colonels starting lineup has been altered just a little bit, Bob. They're going to go with number 4, Daquan Poindexter. Number 3, Mateo Malbach. Number 1, Cameron Hughes. Number 30, Josh McClure. And number 5, Chancellor Mormon in the starting lineup tonight. Hope to get some updates from the Lady Colonels game down at Gretna. My dear friends, Miss Mormon and Mr. Mabry will keep us informed for sure. And the Lady Colonels are on a 3-game winning streak, by the way, Bob. Colonels will be in the home white jerseys. Black number with the orange outline, orange Altavista written over the number. Gretna Hawks are in their road blue jerseys. Hawks used to wear kind of more of a purplish blue. They've sort of changed it over the years, Bob. It's more of just a straight royal blue now. But I can remember back in the 90s, it was more purple for the Hawks than blue. But they've adjusted, and it's a good look for both squads tonight out here.
Budget problems hit us all at some point or another. You lose some of the shades, and you have to go to a different color there. Different shade of color. I mean, it's not like they've, just gone to the opposite end of the prism.
Not a big color scheme change. Coach Troy Harris for the Altavista Colonels and Coach Dalrick Beard for the Gretna Hawks. And again, Hawks come into this game winless. Colonels are 10-2. If you're listening online at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, you can thank your Allstate agent in Windhurst, Chad Rakos, for that. Basketball fans, always in good hands with Chad Rakos. Teams are strolling out to midcourt. The lights will recycle through, so never hurts to take an extra moment in that pregame huddle when you're at Altavista High School. The crowd in the gym, Bob, is pretty large. It's not the old days of Gretna and Altavista where you had to get here at 5 o'clock, Mr. Alvis, but I'd say we're about 80 to 90% capacity right now, and the crowd that is here appears to be loud, energetic, and boisterous on both sides.
I'm going to go 87, but
okay,
I definitely agree with you. Now, you talked about keys for the Hawks. How about keys for the Colonels? Definitely think you want a quick start. Don't give Gretna any confidence in quarter number 1.
I would agree with that. When a team is trying to pull the upset, generally they have to get off to a fast start. Excellent point by you. Colonels control the opening tip into the front court very quickly. They're working left to right from our perspective, scoring on the right-hand bucket. Mateo Malback directing traffic just left of center at the top of the key. Now it goes right side over to Hughes. Back to Malback. Left wing to Daquan Poindexter.
This could be a slow-paced game because Gretna's in the zone.
Hawks in the zone right now, and you're right. I think they would love to slow things down, make the Colonels be a little bit more deliberate on offense. Poindexter trying to drive in from the left baseline. Whacked on the head and the arm by number 35, Taquan Younger, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair with 7:28 left to play in the first quarter.
Hawks and Colonels live from Altavista. I am Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney on the play-by-play, voice of the Colonels.
Oh, boy. I don't know if we...
You know where I get that from, right? That comes straight from Coach Harris, because I think he gave you that moniker.
He was one of the early adopters of that to start using that line. And, the college guys, that's the line with all of them. If you're the announcer for Virginia Tech, you're the voice of the Hokies, etc.
2 missed free throws.
Colonel's got an offensive rebound, though, while we're discussing the voices. 3 ball on the way, too strong from Josh McClure. Rebound not really controlled by anybody, but last touched out of bounds off the Hawks on the near sideline. 7:19 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score from Altavista High School.
And normally we do have a third person with us that just carries a sign behind Kyle saying voice of the Colonels coming through, but he could not make it tonight.
Doesn't like to drive when it's raining outside. Be careful if you're on the roadways out there, folks. Cameron Hughes, he'll try a 3-ball. It's good. Cameron Hughes will get the party started for the Colonels. 3-0. They lead 1 minute into the ball game. Looked like the Hawks appeared to close out on Cameron Hughes pretty well. He shot it over the would-be defender. This is number 1, Malik Stone. Crossover dribble. Now he's going to fling a one-hand pass back to the left point, and Lance Bain. Bain wants to drive, got to the free throw line. Kicked out to Travis Hogan for 3. No good. There's Chancellor Mormon with the rebound in the paint. Mormon will bring it up himself on the left sideline. Throws it to Hughes in the corner. Hughes wanted another 3, but decided to exercise some patience. It's inside to McClure. He can't get it to go. Took some body contact.
He was in no man's land, too, when he caught the pass. As Hughes catches it but falls out of bounds. McClure was kind of behind the goal, right underneath that baseline. So really maybe some recognition there from Altavista. McClure may not have been the best guy to throw to just because he's being trapped really by 2 defenders, the backboard and the sideline.
Right. McClure was open for sure, but definitely to your point, just because a guy's open doesn't mean he's in a good place to score. Set play coming for the Gretna Hawks. Malik Stone dribbles to his left, used the high ball screen from the big man, Taquan Younger,
who lost the specs and had to readjust.
Stone's going to circle the defense and give it up momentarily. Gets it back in the right corner. Stone is a quick, shifty guard with good handles. He shakes Malback loose, now dishes off to Younger. Walking violation there, and that's a turnover. Taquan Younger with too many steps.
Younger has got a big frame to him, but you can kind of tell Little Green and Gretna really kind of wants to probably, polish him. And that's the other thing about a young group and about a group that has been struggling. Really hard to get the confidence up, and that's probably just as much of Dalrick Spear challenge as X's and O's are.
Pitch and catch now between the Colonels. Hughes thinks about another three. Send up a soft jumper from the left baseline that won't go down. High rebound controlled by the Gretna Hawks. That is number 4, Ray Inge. Stone will bring it up just right of center into the front court quickly. Hawks working right to left from our perspective. Lance Bain wanted to drive and lost it. Ended up in the hands of Inge. Now it's back up top to Stone. Colonels in the man-to-man defense. Home white jerseys. Poked away. Nelson Dews has a steal. Lead pass up ahead to Malbeck. Malbeck will finish with the right hand from the right side. That increases the Colonels' lead to 5-0. 5:20 left to play in the first. Stone got Malbeck guarding him. He can really break you down with those dribbles, Bob, but the Colonels' help defense has been pretty good. Stone hadn't gotten to the bucket yet. There's a steal by Daquan Poindexter. Poindexter going to time it up and dunks it down with one hand. Daquan Poindexter with a big flush for 2. Dalrick Beard needs a timeout. Colonels lead 7-0. 5:03 left to play in the first on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 7-0. The 2 most recent points coming from the right hand of a Daquan Poindexter dunk. Nice steal that set it up, too, Bobby.
I'll tell you, the Colonels are playing with some high energy. You would think that Gretna had 10 wins just with the intensity that the Colonels are coming out with.
Nice drive there by Travis Hogan. Gave Nelson Dews the shoulder and got a little bit of space and threw up the soft right-hand floating jumper. That goes down. First points of the ball game for the Hawks. 7-2. Alta Vista advantage. 4:42 left to play in the first quarter.
And that's what good teams
lob.
will do.
Oh, boy, I'm sorry. I thought the dunk was coming again.
Fine.
They were lobbing it down near the basket for Daquan Poindexter. The pass was not on target. It's a turnover. Malik Stone bringing it up the near sideline. Go ahead, finish your point there.
I was just going to say, that's what I don't know where I was now. I was going to say about the great teams, but never mind. I'm just going to stay silent.
Fair enough. It takes a really powerful man to just admit when he's wrong like that, admit that he's lost his way. That's
I can
pretty
move
good
buildings,
stuff, Bob. Hawk basketball in the front court, 4.5 left to play in the first. There's Lance Bain trying to get inside, not going to get it by Josh McClure, but the loose ball gets snuck around to number 10, Deshane Harris, who is in the ball game. He sticks it up and in for 2. 7-4. Hawks have cut into the deficit. Nice response there by Gretna.
Yeah, they've scored 4 quick ones. And it's really, I think, advantageous to just get that first 2. Just get it 2 on the board, and then I think things can kind of open up. Wow. Colonels have gotten a little sloppy there as the pass intended for number 15.
Lawrence Galliard.
Tad high. I mean, Galliard's tall, but the late Manute Bowl would have had problems catching that one.
That's back-to-back turnovers for the Alta Vista Colonels. Gretna basketball in the front court. Chancellor Mormon going to head to the scores table and check back in. There's the floater from Malik Stone. He got some penetration. That time for 2. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. Hawks on a 6-0 run coming out of that well-placed Dalrick Beard timeout that he called after the dunk. On the court right now for the Colonels, Josh McClure, Lawrence Galliard, Daquan Poindexter, Nelson Dews, and Mateo Malbeck. In the midst of that, Josh McClure drives, finishes, and is fouled. 2 points and a chance for the 3-point play with 3:30 left to play in the first quarter.
Foul is going to go against Stone. That'll be his first, team's second.
Colonels lead 9-6. 3.5 minutes left to play in the Englishes, your complete home center first quarter, your headquarters for Carhartt gear for men. I'm going to talk about that Carhartt some as the first quarter comes to a close here. Bob, free throw converted by Josh McClure. He comes out. Jacob Adams will enter into the game for his first action. The sophomore, number 24, Jacob Adams.
You know what was a little bothersome to me on the Colonel side, and I'll get your thoughts if you concur or will take the opposite side, but it kind of looked like they lacked a little bit of intensity coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, I think so. I think they got themselves built up after the dunk and the 7-0 lead and perhaps lost some of the intensity. There's a foul on Josh McClure. He hacks number 10, Deshane Harris, pardon me.
You know, you can talk about it until you're blue in the face, and we'll not talk about it right now. But a lot of people will say, how much of some of that is coaching, how much of that is the players, because going back to the Steelers-Bengals game last week, people said once those guys get out in between the lines, Marvin Lewis can't do much. But what can he do? It's kind of an age-old debate.
It is a debate for sure. Both free throws converted by Deshane Harris, number 10 for the Gretna Hawks. That makes it a 10-8 Altavista lead, 2-point advantage now. Colonel's playing pitch and catch around the perimeter of this zone defense. Now it's at the free throw line to Galliard momentarily. Left wing to McClure. He fakes the three, wants to dribble drive. Now exits the defense and flips it back out toward midcourt to Nelson Deuce. Oh, nice bounce pass down low to Mormon. Mormon along the baseline. Nice head fake and then up for two. Chancellor Mormon with a crafty little play there. 12-8. Colonel's lead by 4. Stone trying to drive against Mormon. He's fouled. Mormon got him with the body. That is the 4th team foul in the Altavista Colonels, or the 3rd, Bob? Thank you. I could have just looked at the scoreboard, but it was easier to ask you. I trust you more.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No offense to the guys at the scoreboard. Steal by Chancellor Mormon.
Good guys down there.
Colonel's defense won't allow you to get too many lengthy points in here as they get another takeaway. 2:40 left to play in the first. It's a 4-point Colonel lead.
Hawks have been committed to the zone.
Looks like a 3-2 zone to me, doesn't it?
Yep, I thought so too.
Galliard has it left edge of the paint. Spin around shot won't go. There's Jacob Adams on the rebound. He had it wiped off his hands. Now the basketball's on the floor. Scrum for it. Adams in a wrestling match with Malik Stone. The referees are going to get in there
quickly
and just let both guys know that the play is over. Again, nothing malicious.
Nope.
Both guys just playing hard. They went on the floor after it. Ends up being a jump ball tie-up.
Good job by the officials there, because that's kind of a case where somebody can take offense, because with two people tugging, one of them's on the ground. So I think a good job by the officials to get in as quick as possible.
Mormon guarding Stone. He poked it away on the shot attempt. There's Deshane Harris. He lost it on the second chance try, and it's rebounded by Jacob Adams on the right edge of the paint. He'll clear everybody out and jog it into the front court with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. McClure catches in the left corner, tries to run the baseline, and ends up getting bumped out of bounds on the L in Colonels. And that's an on-the-floor foul. Colonels will inbound underneath their own scoring bucket. Up by 4.
First foul on the Hawks. On that one, 3rd as a team.
Galliard catches and dunks on the lob play. Good Lord, Lawrence Galliard rising up to the rafters, catching the alley-oop lob pass and throwing it down with 2 hands. The Colonels have been a dunking machine in recent games, and here's the Gretna Hawks with an answer. Deshane Harris with a stick back for 2, and he is fouled. Man, if you thought the dunks were going away just because the brothers Johnson and Juan Thornhill were gone, think again. These Colonels this season have the ability to play above the rim too, Mr. Alvis.
It's a very underrated squad, I think, for people who have not gotten out to see them yet. Not your name value, but it has a team. They are very fine as Harris sinks the free throw.
I don't think they're worried about name value.
No.
These guys that are on the court right now, they're ready for their time to shine, and they can play ball too. 3-point play converted there by Harris. Nelson Dews triggers the 3, misfires off the left side of the iron. There's Cameron Hughes with a rebound, stick back and in. Nice job by Cameron Hughes just to grab it about 6 feet away in the middle of the paint, throw it back up to the rim.
You talk about not name value.
There's a steal. Chancellor Mormon took too many steps there. Go ahead.
Remember that Patriots team that got beat by the Rams? Normally they'll introduce your offense or your defense individually at the Super Bowl, but they introduced the whole team.
Right.
They just said, now your AFC champions, the New England Patriots. So, team.
There's a walking violation on Lance Bain as he caught the inbound pass and was in a bit of too much of a hurry to get going towards the basket. 1:23 left to play in the first. It's a 16-11 5-point Colonel lead. We've already seen 2 dunks. We've seen a 3-ball from Cameron Hughes. We've seen a little bit of everything. And with all that being said, the Gretna Hawks are not out of this just yet.
Oh, Lord, no. I mean, only the first quarter of play, but the Hawks didn't want to get too far back as Dews back irons the 3. Rebound was in Hogan's hand, but then Dews came in for it and couldn't control the handle.
Nelson wearing the full-length leggings tonight with the white. Teo Malbach's got the long white sleeves. So does Cameron Hughes. Jacob Adams sports them, even though he's on the bench.
Yeah, you're going above and beyond now. If my numeral is outlined in orange.
Well, back in the day, you didn't have to worry
right.
about that stuff. Now, guys like to wear the long sleeves and the long pants a lot. It's an interesting look. Cameron Hughes has got the 3-quarter leggings on that come down mid-calf. It's a foul on the floor against Chancellor Mormon. Yeah, his second. Coach Harris is going to send some subs in. Josh McClure and Daquan Poindexter will rejoin Mateo Malback, Cameron Hughes, and Nelson Dews, the 5 Colonels on the floor right now. The Hawks on the floor. Number 1, Malik Stone. Number 4, Ray Inge. Number 2, Travis Hogan. Number 10, Deshane Harris. And number 5, Lance Bain.
Gretna almost went backcourt on the inbound. Stone had to save it.
Yeah, dangerously close to backcourt. Stone, pull up 3 is good. Was thinking about chasing down his own rebound, but didn't have to. It went in. 2-point ball game, 16-14.
Stone remind you of anybody?
Let me think on that. I will. Hawks are playing good ball here, and they only trail by 2. Nelson Dews will try a 3. Catch and shoot, long ball won't go down. It's rebounded 15 feet away by Mateo Malback. McClure had it. His shot was blocked away. He's got it back. Now it's Daquan Poindexter, left edge of the paint. Steps inside of the middle and scores. Daquan Poindexter, the shot up and fouled, and he will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. You're thinking about possibly a former Gretna Hawk guard of small size by the name of Dip Pinnell.
Yep.
Devontae Pinnell, now playing at Averett University. Same sort of a build, same quickness. Dip Pinnell was he was the politician, though. I mean, He knew everybody in the gym. He knew everybody from the other team. He knew all the officials. He knew all the fans, and he would kind of go around and have conversations with everybody before, during, and after the game. There is
probably knew more about you than I do, and I've known you for about 20 years almost now.
One of the all-time nice guys, Dip Pinnell, still enjoying a collegiate career at Averett. Turnover on the Hawks, 10.6 left. Colonels basketball in the front court. They're going to take some time and set up a last-second shot. Left post to McClure. Turn around, off the window and in. Josh McClure gets points. There's the buzzer. 21-14. Colonels up by 7. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Good first quarter for the Altavista Colonels, but the Gretna Hawks showed a lot of fight. They trail by 7. It's 21-14. Colonels on top. It was a 1-point game for a lot of the quarter, Bob. A 2-point game. Colonels did lead the entire first quarter, though, however.
I'm looking for Mike Sharness and Cole Simpson and seeing if we need to take this outside with the 21-14 score. It's more of your football score.
Football weather out there.
Right. Well, maybe worse than football weather. I wouldn't want to be out there in it right now, but I think the football weather thing's a little overrated. I don't think anybody has said, boy, I'd love to play in rain and cold tonight. But that's just me.
That's what I love about Bob Alvis.
That's just me.
He brings a different perspective. He says a lot of profound things. It's a great point by you. It's a point of awareness. I think it's something to think about. Colonels basketball to start the second quarters. I try and keep it together. Bob makes me laugh.
McClure for 3 from the corner. Drano, Josh McClure hits the 3, and the Colonels go up by double digits.
Keep it going, Mr. Alvis. Keep it going.
Hawks with the basketball. Hogan's going to come down, kick in the corner. 3 ball up, too strong, rebounded by the Colonels.
Galliard there with good box out in position. Oh, Colonels threw it away.
Hogan with the pick. McClure was coming from behind him. Hogan eluded it. I think he was just kind of in the right place at the right time as Josh with the Matador just flew by him. Now Gretna with the ball. Harris gets inside. Short shot. Rebounded by Nelson Dews.
Little helter-skelter at the moment, isn't it, Bob?
It is. Dews gets it over to Poindexter. Poindexter with the scoop layup. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Kind of surprised that wasn't a travel as the ball never hit anything. McClure takes it over to the left side. Now Malback with it. Malback will pull it back out. Colonels in front by 10. 24-14 here. Early goings of the second quarter. Mateo drives in. Puts a shot up. It'll hit off the glass. Too strong. Malback gets his own rebound. Now comes underneath.
Ooh.
And it's going to get bumped by Hall.
Came down a little awkwardly, but he hopped right back up, so I guess Mateo is okay.
It's going to be the first on Hall, 5th one on the Hawks, and Mateo Malback at the line to shoot 2.
Malback's been good from the free throw line, Bob. The percentages provided to us by statistician Greg Pripple. Why don't you just give the percentage, right, rather than saying he's been good. He has shot 66% from the free throw line. It could be better for sure, but high school, 66% is okay. Nelly Dews has shot 70%. Mormon is 100% from the line, but he's only shot 2 this season.
Malbec splits the difference. Malik Stone with the basketball. Stone guarded by Poindexter. Stone probably outsized a little bit as Poindexter has a little bit more height, 6 foot, 6'2" with the throw. Stripped him, but Stone was going up with it, and they're going to give Stone 2. Foul is going to be against Poindexter. And you talk about good. You're going to see not good, but great highlights tonight on Full Court Press. As my friend Andrea Craig. You know what we call her? Andrea, because that's her name. But if she had a nickname, it would be Ace. Setup. Because her shooting, the pictures that she provides you on the news, just second to none.
That was a
first foul missed by Stone.
Great setup by you, though.
Trying to get you on your A game
made
tonight.
It sound
I feel like you're on the B.
There. And with the couple high-flying dunks that the Colonels have had, boy, what better reason to tune in, right? The one from Lawrence Galliard on the alley-oop, and then the breakaway right-hand dunk from Daquan Poindexter. Jamal Thornhill checking into the game, Bob. Number 20 has entered for his first action for the Colonels.
Colonels are definitely above the rim right now. With Stone splits the difference, 25-15.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we've seen the last dunk of the evening. You never know, obviously, but
now I think it's almost a 1-2-2, or I don't know if it's still the 3-2, because that one man's playing up top a little bit more. McClure tried to dump it into Galliard real quick. The ball is on the loose, and more of a headlock, I believe, has Thornhill had a grasp on Hogan, but they'll call it a jump ball, and the arrow is going to send it to Gretna.
Well, it's wrestling season. I mean, Jamal Thornhill just went with the collar and elbow tie up, then shifted to the side headlock. I mean, it's textbook stuff there. Just not on the basketball court, right? Got to be on the wrestling mat for that stuff. Or perhaps the ring. Basketball tapped out of bounds by Malbec. It'll stay with the Hawks.
I like the tap, too.
I've had enough. 6:10 left to play in the second quarter.
Ball knocked out of Galliard's hands. Galliard throws it off of one of the Hawks. That was Hall. And basketball stayed in for a moment. Hall, I think, got the idea of, hey, I still need to run after that. And it's too late. Altavista will inbound it.
Colonels lead by 10, Mr. Alvis. I think they would love to stretch this out and be up 15 or 20 before half.
Got to say, the one thing about Kyle Haney is he keeps you on your toes, ladies and gentlemen. Hall got the steal. Now thrown down low. 2 Colonels in the area. Is it going to be on Galliard or Malbec? I think Mateo is going to get whistled with it, but I'm wrong. It's Galliard.
I say the same thing about you in regards to keeping people on their toes. Colonels' defense certainly keeps you on your toes, don't they? They have not used the zone defense much. They used it more in the first 2 or 3 games, Bob, but since then, I don't think Coach Harris has gone to it as much. It's still certainly available. Obviously, the guys haven't forgotten how to run the zone defense, but I think Coach Harris just prefers the good, sturdy man-to-man.
Never failed by a good old man-to-man defense. 25-16 our margin right now. Colonel's in front, and the second free throw rims off for Harris. 2 points by Gretna in this quarter in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds, all from the stripe. Malbec surveys the scene left side to Hughes. In the corner it goes to Dews. Dews back to Hughes, back to Dews. Dews thought about going inside McClure. Good defense by Gretna's Tavis Hall. Now over to Cameron Hughes. Finds Mateo between the circles. Mateo, right-handed corner to Dews, and Dews' pass deflected out of bounds by Hall.
We've been giving the Colonels' defense some credit, Bob, but the Hawks' defense deserves a little bit, too. They're pouncing on some of those errant passes. They're stepping in passing lanes. They're pretty active in that zone, either the 1-2-2 or the 3-2. Whichever one it is, we can't really tell for sure from up here.
The flippers are working.
Sure.
Colonels with the basketball. Hughes. Free throw line extended and knocked out of bounds right into the Gretna bench, and Hughes will go into enemy territory for a moment for the inbounds as Dalrick Beard shifts to the left to give Hughes some room. Now into Malbec. Yeah, Gretna is in that zone. Hogan's playing a little bit back. I think it's a 3-2, but Hogan just a little bit back with it. Colonels have the basketball. It's in the hands of Mormon. Now feeds it back to Malbec. Malbec off the right block to Galliard, and Galliard sticks it up and in. Colonels back up by double digits. The lead is 11, 27-16 with just under 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2.
Nice assist there by Mateo Malbeck. Penetrated in the left side of the paint, got up in the air, and then dished it off to Galliard. Really drew the defense to him.
Stone got a good pick. Goes all the way in, rattles home, and rattles out. And now Hughes with it, but Hughes lost it as Inge picked it up. Finds it back to Stone. Stone comes down, and that's an offensive foul against Gretna. Malik Stone, the culprit. It'll be a player control, so the Colonels will not go to the line, but they will on the next foul. It's foul number 7, and the second one on Stone.
Lawrence Galliard that took the charge. Bob just planted the feet. And that's a mature play from Lawrence Galliard because he's a shot blocker. He leads this team in block shots. Normally those guys like to get up and wipe it off the rim. That time he just stayed playing on the ground.
It's a mature play by a rising sophomore who has not really had tons and tons of playing time entering the year. Hughes with the basketball. Found it over to Mormon. Mormon had it deflected. Now Stone comes down near side. Hawks going to the left side of your radio dial. McClure with the steal. Was about to travel. Picked up by Galliard. Now Galliard in trouble, and a jump ball is the call. But another official looks like he has a foul. And the foul is against the Colonels.
Interesting. Oh, boy. Oh, you can hear this crowd, too, can't you, Bob?
Not
this
happy.
Crowd is audibly not happy about it.
It's Galliard's second, I believe.
It's a 1-and-1 shooting foul. Coach Harris is not very animated. I think he's just trying to find out necessarily what the official saw that caused him to make the call.
I
Now
think
he's a little bit more animated. He's not upset, really. But
yeah, I think Coach Harris is like he had the jump ball, what made the overrule.
Right.
That's 8 team fouls on the Colonels. Hawks have 6. And at the stripe for Gretna on the 1-and-1 is number 10. That is Harris. And Harris misses. Hawks still do not have a field goal this quarter. Long three by Malbeck, and it's good. Mateo raining it down from the outside, and the Colonels go up by 14.
Malbeck is dangerous from out there. He's 27% from three-point land on the year.
Gretna the other way, and Harris finally gets the first field goal of quarter number 2. It comes with 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go. And Gretna trails by a dozen. Nice pass from McClure into Dews. Dews had it blocked. Gretna very helter-skelter on defense as 2 Hawks went for the block and almost fell over each other. Stone rattles one home, and this lead is back down to 10.
3:25 left to play in the second quarter. Hawks showing some fight, some resilience. Gotten quite a few turnovers on defense, Bob. Some block shots, too.
Harris is a good name in this gym, but normally it's on the home side of it. Malbeck with the basketball. Colonel's not even really letting it touch the floor. As Dews from the right wing on the 3. No good, and Gretna's done a very nice job rebounding tonight. Stone comes all the way down. Malbeck skies up top and deflects it with the fingertips. Now Malbeck finds McClure left side in the corner to Hughes. Hughes 2 dribbles in. Flip shot up, no good. Rebounded by Dews. Dews takes a power dribble, turns to the basket, fires and in. And Nelly will go to the free throw line for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
And the crowd comes to life again. I mean, there's a good energy in the gym tonight, Bob. It may not have that fever boiling over type of energy like they had in the old days of Gretna Altavista, but this crowd is into it. They like what they're seeing. They like the effort from the guys out there, and that's on both sides, Hawks and Colonels.
Dews is going to have a free throw.
May I remind you momentarily that the second quarter, brought to you by English's Your Complete Home Center, went in there and checked out all the Carhartt gear. It's the jackets, it's the pants, it's the overalls, it's sweatshirts, it's T-shirts, it's stocking caps. I mean, it's cold out there, Bob.
Right, it is.
Get you some Carhartt.
I think you're trying to hint at me to get you some Carhartt.
I was trying that around Christmas time, wasn't I?
Knocks down the free throw, and your birthday's coming up, so, I mean, you're a man for all the seasons. 33-20. Gretna with the basketball. They slice through the Colonel's defense, and Hughes is going to get the cheap foul as Harris comes in. And what I mean by the cheap foul is not a lot of contact by Hughes. He definitely did get him, but an unfortunate one to send Gretna back to the stripe where, let's be honest, that's where they've had their points for the most part. Here in quarter 2, they have 5 points. 3 of them are from the stripe. I checked that, 7 points, but over half.
Right. Yeah, no,
pretty much from the stripe.
I agree with you. Deshane Harris makes the first, makes the second. Good looking for him, good rhythm. Got them both in. 33-22.
Take us to halftime, please, sir.
I can try. Cameron Hughes over on the left sideline, now back between the circles to Malback. Holds it over his head. Overhead pass back to Hughes. Two-man game, pitch and catch between those guys. It's over to Jacob Adams. Now mid-post to McClure. Extra pass down low to the baseline. Now it's back to McClure. McClure sticks it in for 2. This is kind of fun. I can see why you were doing it there.
35-22 Colonels. And McClure is going to get caught. I'll tell you, you got to be disappointed because if one thing Mr. Alvis III, my father, taught me is when you foul somebody, get your money's worth. And the Colonels have 10 fouls right now, Kyle, and I would say probably it's half and half. Where they've really fouled them, and the other half, they fouled them, but not really hard enough to necessitate,
Right. If you're going to commit a foul, at least make sure he can't make the bucket,
Right.
that sort of thing. I agree with you. Traquan Farmer in the ball game for his first action. He joins Mateo Malback, Cameron Hughes, Jacob Adams, and Nelson Dews. 5 Colonels on the court right now. Second free throw coming from Bain goes in. For the Hawks, it's Bain, Harris, Stone, Hogan, and it's not Ray Inge out there. I'll find it in a second, folks. My apologies. Nelson Dews, floater with the right hand, got close to the rim but couldn't finish it. No good. They leave it off for Travis Hogan down along the baseline. He sends it back to the Deshane Harris. Turnaround Jay is good from the left side. Heady play right there from Deshane Harris to get it to go. Jacob Adams wants to try a 3. Skips off the iron, no good. Nelson Dews and Malik Stone battle for the rebound. Last touched off of Nelly, out of bounds.
I love when you're identifying the 5 by last name. It's almost like you're, naming the detectives in the precinct.
I love it.
Roll call.
It is Ray Inge, the final 5th Hawk out there. Malik Stone's going to bring it up just left of center. Guarded by Jacob Adams. Adams going to dig in on the 3-point line and play some defense. Now he'll step out. Still Malik Stone's basketball, left-hand dribble. Tries to get by Adams and lost it. Nelson Dews had it for a second there but couldn't reel it in.
85 seconds to go, and I think if you're a Dalrick Beard, you want this closer to it is now 9. If you're the Colonels, you want to see it back in double digits.
Hang in there, Bob. Bob's getting choked up just thinking about it. It's a great game out there. Glad we can be a part of the tradition and hopefully further this great tradition of high school basketball in our area. Hawks get it in. They're in the front court scoring on the left-hand bucket. Stone, dribble, drive, 16-footer, won't fall down. Rebounded on the weak side by Cameron Hughes. Mateo Malback will bring it up the right sideline now. Angles in just right of center. Between the circles to Hughes. Left wing over to Nelson Dews.
Gretna's getting back defensively, though. It's been hard for the Colonels to find anything really in transition as Hughes puts up a 3. Fired out of bounds.
Tried to sell the foul a little bit. The referee disagreed. I do have an update from Dave Mabry. They're tied at halftime, 20-20. Down in Gretna, that's the Lady Hawks and the Lady Colonels. Under 1 minute to play here in the first half. Travis Hogan's going to bounce it in with a chest-high dribble. Now it's left wing all the way over to Lance Bain. Bain wants to drive in, lowers the shoulder, and they're going to whistle the Colonels for a foul. Troy Harris felt like maybe Lance Bain was a little too liberal with his use of that leading shoulder as he was going to the bucket, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1.
We got Hughes on that one.
2-shot foul. That's the 10th team foul on the Colonels. Double bonus.
I'll tell you, Gretna's been very solid from the stripe.
Yep. He sinked the first. 35-27. Colonels on top. They've led the entire game by varying degrees, but Gretna on a nice little run here, nice little spurt. Late stages of the second quarter. 45 seconds left to play in the first half. Wonder if the Colonels would hold for one here. Hawks are in the zone, so Altavista could probably pull it out and get unchallenged. Top of the key to Malback. Mateo Malback. NBA range 3 is good. Ripping the nylon out on the big 3-point shot by Mateo Malback. Colonel's got to hustle back on D. Bain puts a shot up from the left side. Hit the window in the rim, but wouldn't fall. Here comes Malback in full stride across the timeline. Now he'll hesitate. Dishes to Nelson Dews under the post and scores it. Nelly with 2, and the Colonels all of a sudden responding to Gretna's run. Altavista on top by 12. 7 seconds left to play in the half. Stone working on Adams. Adams reached in and got him with a hand check. 3.5 seconds left. Not exactly the time you want to foul, and it's going to send Malik Stone to the free throw line and shoot 2. Double bonus situation again for the Hawks.
Colonels are a bit of an unconventional group, and what I mean by that is you would say shots like that, no. Then when they go in, okay, it went in. So, I mean, you're happy about it, but, I mean, You would think that some of those situations is hole for one, but the Colonels got 5 points when you would have held for one.
3.5 seconds left. Stone makes the first. Missed the first. Made the second one. Colonels have got 3.5 seconds to go the full 94 feet. They'll throw it far sideline to Mateo Malbec. Oh, overhead pass. He was looking for Nelson Dews. It was
Gretna's
just too
got a
high,
shot.
out of bounds. Yeah, Hawks are going to get it with 0.6 seconds.
I don't think they know the clock. Nobody's making a deal of it, honestly.
Stone catches. Three-quarter court shot was in the area, but never drew iron or backboard. We have played one half here from Altavista. The Colonels, they lead by 11, 40-29. Subway halftime show on the way when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Motley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
40-29, the Altavista Colonels lead at halftime. It's the Subway halftime show. How about some more Subway shout-outs? Alyssa and Callie working at the Foster Fields location on Route 29. I know they're doing an outstanding job, and they're big Colonel basketball fans, too. Bobby, good first half. We saw quite a bit of back and forth. The Colonels lead by 11, but it's certainly been a hard-fought 11-point lead, hasn't it?
It was a lot of turnarounds going back and forth right there. I mean, it's been the tale of two halves in the first half because a lot of teams were going back and forth. Even though the Colonels had the lead the whole time, it really seesawed quite a bit. And we're at the margin we are, but I would not say it's the Colonels' A game.
It did, and I agree with you. I don't think it was the Colonels' best game. I think Coach Harris saw some things that he liked out there from his guys, and I'm sure Coach Dalrick Beard for the Gretna Hawks said the same thing. Can I send another shout-out really quickly?
Only if I can.
Absolutely. You go first, then. Go first.
You know, two of the better Colonel fans, Kim and Carson Gafford.
Oh, yeah.
Listening at home in Lynchburg. Why brave the elements when you can have a nice bowl of soup, grilled cheese,
right,
whatever it might be, and listen to us? And well, I like the soup and the grilled cheese a little bit better. Yeah.
Well, hey, and speaking of Kim and Carson, we'll inform them that Ty and Marcus are having the time of their lives.
They're
down
working
here
hard
on the court. They are working hard, but they're having fun doing it. So don't worry, ladies. The two guys are in good hands tonight. The Gafford family, the family that plays together stays together, is what I always say, Bob. Oh, my shout out now, right? I got to send a shout out to some people listening via the TuneIn app or perhaps at kdcountry.com. First, to our great friend, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. He's tuned in. He was questioning the score. Yes, it is 40-29, Mr. Briggs. Colonels lead by 11. This Gretna Hawk squad has shown a lot of resilience and a lot of fight. And another shout-out to someone listening online, my friend Kathy up in Charlottesville. Now, she's buddies with Dennis and Dee Reynolds in the South Philly area. Do you know Dennis and D?
I don't.
Do you know Mac and Charlie?
I
Do you
don't.
know that gang? Okay, all right. I thought you knew those people. Anyway, Kathy tuned into the ball
moment,
game and having fun. It's always a fun, awkward moment on the Subway halftime show. Perhaps a quick timeout for us to allow
at least one
a chance to reconfigure our senses here and hopefully get back with some strategy. We'll tell you about basketball when we return. Colonels lead by 11, 40-29 over the Hawks. Subway pregame show back right after this. Subway halftime show, pardon me. Back right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The Subway halftime show. Yes, the Subway halftime show. I screw it up so often. It's probably past a running joke at this point, Bob, but we'll try and keep this
run a marathon at this point.
Yeah, we'll try and keep this portion of the Subway halftime show a little bit more close to the alignment of the basketball game that we're watching here. And it's been a good one, Bob Alvis. You ready with those halftime numbers?
Got Altavista's done for you, so let me go with those, and then we'll probably, if you don't mind, take a break and hit Gretna's on the way back.
I'll do some more comedy.
Yeah, whatever.
That's funny to only me and you, probably.
Yeah, I want to say hi to one of my friends who's relocating from Philadelphia. Chip Kelly is moving to San Francisco. I just talked to him the other day. He's doing well, looking forward to the challenge. Speaking of basketball, which we were not talking about whatsoever, but Cameron Hughes has 5. Nelson Hughes follows that up with another 5. 9 points from Mateo Malbec, 5 from Daquan Poindexter, 2 from Chancellor Mormon, 4 from Lawrence Galliard, I should say, and then 10 from Josh McClure, and that's how you get to the Colonel's 40.
I'm going to have to regain my composure. You said it so smoothly, like you really have a friend named Chip Kelly, and then it registered to me, Chip Kelly, the former Philadelphia Eagles head coach.
I have a friend named Chip, and I have a friend named Kelly, but not Chip Kelly, although he's probably looking for friends at this point.
Total up the Gretna Hawks scores.
I'm working on it.
While I tell you about how we got to this 40-29 score. Colonel scored first. They actually ran out a 7-0 lead to open up. Coach Dalrick Beard burned a timeout for the Gretna Hawks, and it was quite useful because the Hawks went on a 6-0 run after that. It was very much a game up to that point. Colonels ballooned their lead out to as much as 13 at one point, Bob, and the Hawks have now cut it to the 11-point deficit where we're at right now. I think for both squads, some wasted possessions on offense. Colonels have turned the ball over quite a bit. They've shot some balls a little bit too quick, I think, for Coach Harris's liking. And I imagine Dalrick Beard is saying the same thing. He wants his team to take care of the rock a little bit better. But then again, don't all coaches Another update from the Lady Colonels affair. It's Gretna up by 2 after 3 quarters of play. It's a 30-28 game down there. We'll certainly keep an eye on that. We're keeping all eyes on this one here tonight as the Colonels lead by 11. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. You are you, and thanks so much for tuning in. Our sound engineers tonight, Eleanor Haney, and our newest KD Country team member, Rachel.
We've learned she's from Florida.
We have learned she's from Florida.
Oscar, more later.
Another KD Country team member, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. He's halfway to Florida, I think. I believe he's vacationing in sunny Surfside Beach right now.
Let me hit Gretna's numbers
Please
real
do.
quick.
Yep.
Hogan with 2, Harris with 12, Stone with 9, Bain with 4. And, it's that dreaded 2 points that gets me all the time.
We'll find it. Subway halftime show has concluded. We're into the third quarter already. Hogan has 2.
Yep.
Travis Hogan has 2. Double team. Travis Hogan, one of the ones doing it on Nelson Dews. Nelly was able to break it and find some relief to a teammate, Daquan Poindexter.
Colonels to the left, Gretna to the right in the second half.
Malbeck hops inside, dishes off to McClure. McClure fouled, bumped as he was headed to the hoop. Shot never really cleared his hand, but Josh McClure will step over to the charity stripe with 7:38 left to play in the third quarter. 40-29. The Colonels lead by 11. Third quarter, Bob, brought to you by You Know Who, English's, your complete home center, and your Atrium Vinyl Window headquarters. As I've mentioned, it's cold out there. It's raining. Keep the heat inside and the cold outside. The Atrium Vinyl Windows will help you do that. They've got them at English's, your complete home center.
And they pay for themselves.
Good point.
Over time, they pay for themselves.
Bob Alvis, the ultimate salesman. But like you said, the product sells itself.
Right.
McClure made the back end, 1 of 2. That trip extends the Colonels' lead to 12. 7.5 left to play in the third quarter.
We've seen it several times here on a rainy Friday night from Altavista. Colonels and Hawks, first time this year.
Remind me to tell you something about the third quarter here in a moment. Travis Hogan steps into the 3 ball, hit to the side of the iron, no good. Rebound collected by Malik Stone. He'll fire a 3. That one is good. Malik Stone barely nicks the back of the iron as it goes down for 3, and Gretna has their first points of the quarter. A nice answer.
Tell me.
The third quarter has been very useful and fruitful for the Altavista Colonels. Malbeck catches on the free throw line. I'm going to finish the point in a second. Poindexter lost it.
I'd like
Travis
to rebuttal
Hogan
that
has
point
it.
also.
Gretna Hawks will bring it up the near sideline. I know what you're thinking about. Maybe the third quarter against Russburg. Stone, pull up, 17-footer, won't fall. Bumped to the deck by Josh McClure. That's a foul. That'll stop play with 6:48 left to play in the third. Colonels lead by 9. Go ahead with your rebuttal.
Thinking more about that night that you first told me that, and I believe it was night 2 of the Christmas tournament. And it was not a good third quarter for the Colonels. I want to say it was against Central.
It was against Central. That was night 1. Perry McClure was night number 2. But you're right. It hasn't been every single third quarter this year that the Colonels have dominated, but normally the third quarter has been their money quarter. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, noted that fact on my way over here.
Speaking of free throws, first half, Gretna 12 of 16 from the stripe. Colonels 3 of 6. Rarely are the Colonels being outshot at the free throw line.
Good point. Colonels are normally pretty good at the charity stripe, although they've had their ebbs and flows in that category as well. Malbeck, catch and shoot, 3-pointer, won't fall. Nelly had the rebound. It actually bounced off the head of Hogan, who was laying on the ground.
What a
play. He dives in, rolls after it, somehow comes out of there. Ball is still loose. Now Galliard's going to catch and hug the basketball for some protection. He is fouled, bumped in his back by number 10, Deshane Harris. That was a wild sequence there that featured multiple bodies on the ground. Somehow the Hawks came out of there with it momentarily, and then Galliard stole it on back. Colonels basketball. Malbeck will walk it across the timeline.
And I was referring to the fact that the Colonels are normally outshooting his in the number of attempts.
Yeah.
At the free throw line, not necessarily the percentage, but Gretna almost doubling, well, more than doubling them, almost tripling them.
Poindexter fouled as he was catching the basketball and working back out to the perimeter. This is an on-the-floor foul. It's the third one of the half for the Gretna Hawks. It's the second of the ball game on Ray Inge. 6:09 left to play in the third quarter. Foul on the Altavista Colonels. They're going to whistle somebody for an offensive foul. No, they didn't call a foul.
Just said out of bounds, I believe. Or was it 3 seconds? It's been an interesting night here for us as well.
I'm not sure what the call was. The official did not make a clear call. It certainly wasn't 5 seconds on the inbound. Colonels hadn't used up that much yet.
Wow.
Up and under scoop layup won't go by Ray Inge. Rebounded by Jacob Adams. Adams going to race it across the timeline into the front court. Nice move to get by the defender. Shot doesn't go. Second chance tries, swatted out of his hands. Poindexter has it now back in the corner to Nelson Dews. Right side over to Mateo Malback. Holds it over his head. No dribble yet. Overhead pass to Jacob Adams. Quick pass over to the left wing. Gets it into Daquan Poindexter's hands. Nelson Dews double teamed in the corner momentarily. Bodied out of bounds, and that's a foul. It'll stop play with 5:38 left to play in the third. 41-34. Colonels on top.
I think Gretna's defense has been fairly sound for most of the night, to be honest with you. 14 fouls against the Hawks. Bain second.
Oh, here's a big-time shout-out right here. We'll wait just 1 second for that, maybe a free throw. Adams bounces it in to Mateo Malback. He'll move to his right. Down low goes to Cameron Hughes. Hughes shields the ball with his body and protects it and puts it in for 2. 43-34. Colonels up 9. This ball's out of bounds. Last touch out off Altavista. No, this official's going to overturn it and change the call, I believe. He's going to say it was off the Hawks. 5:23 left to play in the third. Colonels lead by 9. Malback will jog it into the front court. Colonels are scoring on the left-hand bucket. Free throw line to Galliard. Galliard steps to the front of the rim and lays it in with a soft finish. 45-34.
If Lawrence Galliard can consistently create his own shot, that is going to be a problem down the road for opposing defenses, because a lot of times I think early on you were more worried about Galliard catching in the post. But if he can do that from the top of the key, that could be problematic.
Yep, loves against that zone to catch it at the free throw line and make a beeline straight for the front of the rim. Stone, pull up 3, no good. There's a foul as Stone might have sold it a little bit on going to the deck. He got boxed out by Mateo Malback. Now, the new rule is, Bob, that they can call this an on-the-floor foul, but the official says 3 shots. He says Malik Stone was in the act of shooting. They can call it just a regular on-the-floor foul on a box out because, you know, let's face it, Stone's feet had already come down. He completed the jump shot motion, and I think that's what Coach Harris is going to try and make his point right now. Stone's going to shoot 3 free throws with 4:47 left to play in the third quarter. First one rattles home. That'll cut the deficit to 10. 45-35. Colonels on top.
Did you attend a rules clinic to get that information, or did who passed it along?
I got a grapevine. My friend Daniel Tanner knows the rules. He and his lovely bride, Dana, listening in North Carolina. The miracle of technology, Bob, doesn't matter where you're at. You can hear some great basketball. Do I need to remind you how good of a player Daniel was?
No, you don't.
Remember? Okay.
No, you don't.
All right.
Better pitcher.
Oh,
honestly. Very good basketball player, but better pitcher.
Player. Galliard to the hoop. He had it blocked away, but number 5, Lance Bain, was out of position and fouled him. The man's a menace on the ping pong table, I'm telling you. Long arms. He's got the forehand, the backhand, the top spin, the back spin, the side spin, and the knuckleball, too. Galliard's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. 4:39 left to play.
It's a 5th one against the Hogs. So, for all extensive purposes, unless the next foul is on the floor, Colonels are shooting the rest of the way.
Galliard drains the first. 46-35. Colonels on top by 11.
12 and a half minutes to go in regulation.
Both of them canned by Lawrence Galliard, the sophomore. 4.5 left to play now. Oh, Bain striding in, took too many steps. I think he was looking for a foul, but the officials know that he embellished it a little bit and took probably 4 steps without a dribble. Colonels basketball after the turnover. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. It's the Hawks and the Colonels. Altavista has led the entire game by varying degrees. Jacob Adams catches left wing, wants to drive, got the left edge of the paint, bounced it off to Galliard. Galliard over the top pass to Cameron Hughes. Hughes' shot won't go, basically mugged down there along the baseline, rolls out of bounds off the Colonels. This is a Hawk basketball with 4:17 left to play in the third.
Shout out to my man Travis Kerr listening, former Appomattox grad, so he was really into that game last Friday, I believe, but a Yankees fan, so that's why I call him a good man. That's one of the reasons.
A baseball fan is okay in my book. I won't hold the Yankees thing against them because you're a Yankee fan too. Stone, floater, window, won't fall, got his own rebound, lost it. Galliard has it, and he'll send a bounce pass over to the right sideline to Nelson Dews. Up ahead to Malback. Malback's got it to Galliard again. Lawrence to the side of the iron and in. Lawrence Galliard gets ahead of steam and goes to the hoop, scores. Another timeout for the Gretna Hawks. We'll take it as well. Altavista stretching the lead out. They're up 14 with just under 4 to play in the third on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE Altavista, Lynchburg.
When you need an important business loan, you want to deal with a decision maker who will respond quickly. I'm Penny Wallace with local First National Bank at our airport branch. I'm focused on business customers, and we have a streamlined process to help you with any loan need. I can offer various business loans for real estate, new equipment, and credit lines. So for better business banking, think of us first. That's local First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from the friendly confines of Altavista High School, I'm Bob Alvis. The voice of the Colonel is Kyle Haney alongside. And KH, I want you to think about this one. You don't need to answer right away, but we've seen many, many games in this story rivalry on the hardwood. Your first memory and your most maybe, I don't want to say best memory, but the one that sticks out to you the most.
I've got it. I think you asked me this question in the Gretna Altavista game. I think it was 2 years ago you asked me. But I remember.
We might have some new listeners.
Oh, absolutely. I think we probably have quite a few new listeners. Oh, steal by Galliard in the backcourt. He's up ahead. 3-on-3 fast break modified. Galliard will modify the finish and drop it in the bucket. 51-35. Colonel's really expanding the lead, and there's a turnover. Nelson Dews flips it up the head to Malback. Malback striding in and scores. So that's out a big roar and a fist pump. He is excited. Crowd is excited. Malback with a chance for a three-point play. Not the way Dalrick Beard wanted to come out of the timeout this time. May want to. I think he's thinking about taking another one possibly. Or maybe he just wants to discuss with the official.
This has gotten up to 18 now.
Feels like a blink of an eye ago, Bob. It was a 9-point Colonel lead. They're really on a big run right now.
Hogan's second.
Sixth one on the Hawks as a team. Malback pounds the ball, ready to shoot the free throw. Doesn't go in. Couldn't put the cherry on top of a very nice play.
Before Malback hit that shot, though, Galliard had the last 8 for the Colonels.
Wow.
Probably altered that one a little bit as well. Gretna gets it back out on the long rebound, shot up, and that is going to rim home. Lance Bain with the 2.
Slid that one over top of Galliard with the left hand. Anytime you can sneak by Lawrence Galliard in the paint, consider yourself doing a good job.
And I think Gretna's had the better shots when they've been, kind of a little helter-skelter, maybe in transition. And we see this out of Pennsylvania County teams a lot over the years. Gretna, Chatham, Dan River, they almost dislike I don't want to say they dislike the jumper, but they almost get better when things are getting crazy.
Galliard had to dive on the floor to save a loose ball. Colonels do still have it. Malback tried the bullet one-hand pass. That looked like a Daniel Tanner 90-mile-an-hour plus fastball, but it was deflected out of bounds. So the Hawks fouled it off. Foul tipped that ball, Bob. 2:41
try.
Yeah, 2:44 left to play in the third. Colonels lead 53-37. Malback, overhead bullet pass down low to Galliard. Galliard couldn't finish from the left side. He stepped out of bounds trying to save it back in. I'm going to wait and tell you my biggest Hawk Colonel moment here when we have a little bit of a lull, some kind of a free throw situation or something, Mr. Alvis. But
all right.
I definitely have it. I definitely have the answer. Steal by Malback in
Mateo.
That's
he
right.
has the basketball.
Transition game. Mateo steps inside, leaves it off for Adams, and there's a foul as Mateo was passing the basketball. That's Mateo Malback, number 3, a junior for the Altavista Colonels.
Oh, 2 shots.
Oh, they're going to say Malback was in the act? Okay. Malback kind of looking at the official saying, oh, really? Was I? Of course, if you want to shoot the free no, they've changed their mind.
Okay.
It is on the no, they have not changed their mind. It's a 1-1.
It's got to be shooting no matter what.
Right. It looked like they changed their mind for a moment. They were going to the baseline to throw it in bounds, but then I think they looked at the scoreboard about the same time we did. 2:27 left to play in the third quarter. Colonel's on top. That free throw hits the front of the iron, will not go down. Long rebound controlled at the free throw line by Hogan. He threw it away. Adams couldn't collect it and finish the steal. Guys laying on the floor going after the ball. Up ahead to Bain. Bain right side lay-in will fall. Good job by Lance Bain to come out of the scrum, out of the pile-up in turn 3 and get to the finish line for points for the Hawks. 53-29. Colonels on top. Just over 2 to play in the third. Another update from the Lady Colonels action in Gretna coming very soon. Good ball movement by the Colonels. Pop passing between 3 different Colonels. Now it's over left wing to Nelson Dews. Nelly, pull-up three-pointer won't fall. Rebounded by Deshane Harris. Harris will bring it up the right side. 3-on-2 fast break for the Hawks. Denied. from the right hand of Lawrence Galliard as he swats it out of bounds on the block.
Chancellor Mormon will check in. So will Jamal Thornhill.
Can I mention the Iowa Hawkeyes knocked off Michigan State for the second time tonight? Do you remember the great Michigan State football coach John L. Smith?
Yes.
One of my all-time favorites. Very underrated. Lance Bain triggers the three. Misfires from the right wing. Rebound in middle of the paint by Chancellor Mormon. Colonel's going the other way on the attack. Mormon will slow it down momentarily. Dribble getting a little loose. He dribbles that thing away from his body. Now he'll go to the hoop with the left hand and fouled. Pardon me, not a foul. Just lost it out of bounds. Last touch off the Hawks.
If you told me all the names we were going to mention tonight, John L. Smith would have probably been far down the list. Did he tweet us or something? Is he here?
I'm a big John L. Smith fan.
Galliard, not, but almost got the two. I don't know. He might like him. Rebounded by Gretna.
Coach Troy Harris in the pregame show said the Colonels like watching the 04 Pistons, or they remember the guys from the Pistons team. That felt like it was a long time ago. Lance Bain pulls up from the left side, left edge of the paint. 7-footer goes down off the backboard. 1:05 left to play in the third. Colonels lead by 12. Again, it's been all Colonels, but the Hawks have never really been too far out of this one and could set themselves up for a comeback in the fourth quarter, especially if they could get some points late here in the third. 50 seconds to play now.
Darian Barber in the game for the Hawks, chasing on the perimeter.
Mateo, wow, another three-pointer.
Almost stolen by Hughes, who was playing back, too.
A trio of triples for Mateo Malback in this game. Wild shot put up by Stone. That doesn't go. Lawrence Galliard catches in the mid-post on the rebound and just nonchalantly flips it over to Chancellor Mormon. 3 threes would be at least 9 points for Mateo Malback, but you're keeping
right. No, I just wanted to know how many a trio of threes were.
I can do the simple math.
Testing you.
You've got to do the calculus and the algebra and the theoretical math, that kind of thing. Colonels are going to hold for the last shot. We're down to 12 seconds left to play in the third. Hughes studies the defense, moves to his right. Now it's over left wing to Malback. Malback for three. Oh, front iron. It was online, though. Got his own rebound. Sticks it back to the back plate. Won't fall in. There's Deshane Harris. Shot it off the rafters on the last second try. You don't see that very much, but the Hawks are not out of this thing. Colonels lead by 15. 8 more minutes of regulation basketball to play when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorcycles. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out that had less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the Best Bet Back Guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Kyle Haney and Bob Alvis. You think we get along based on the stuff you hear on the air, don't you? Folks?
Only if you knew.
If they only knew, Bob. Let's put those in the deleted scenes on the DVD. Hey, the Colonels lead this one by 15, Mr. Alvis. 56-41. Hawks, I feel like I said it when we went to break. Hawks have a chance in this one, though, don't you think? Don't get me wrong. They're going to have to play very well, though.
I think they've got to come out in the first 2 minutes and cut into the lead, or otherwise I think the air might go out of the balloon a little bit.
Fast start's going to be important for sure. They're trailed
How about your favorite
15,
memory?
But they will start this fourth quarter with it. Yeah, my favorite memory was a Hawk Colonel game here in this gym. I believe it was 2001 or 2002. Kenny Hunt was a sophomore, and he put together an electric first half, Bob. He scored 20 in the first half, I believe.
McClure picks up the steal, by the way, over
That's
to
why
Galliard.
Should have waited. Galliard dunking it home. Lawrence Galliard, the human highlight reel, the dragon, stuffs another one in on the dunk. Crowd going bananas, and there's almost a steal by the Colonels. Hawks recover it. Stone, pull up three from the left wing, too strong. They'll get their own rebound, though. Hawks have a second chance. That's Dion Ward into the ball game. Stone will try a long two. No good. Daquan Poindexter rebounds outside the paint. He's got a full head of steam. Now he'll slow down at the three-point line.
Dalrick Beard had a little bit of a complaint on the dunk that I'll touch on at the next dead ball.
Never going to be able to get some points in. The points are going to have to, form a queue and wait in line. Malback, catch and shoot three off the back iron. No good. Travis Hogan on the board for the Hawks. Malik Stone, one-man fast break, had it stolen away. Ended up in the hands of Lance Bain. Hawks got it back, and then they lost it again.
Barber, actually, on that play, not Hogan. They switched up on you.
Darian Barber is in the game for the Gretna Hawks. He joins Malik Stone Dion Ward, Ray Inge, and Lance Bain.
I think
good observation there by you, Bob.
I try to help you out every now and again. I think Coach Beard had a complaint that on that dunk, Galliard actually caught the rim first with his right hand, then the ball flushed in. That might be offensive goaltending, if true. McClure's three from the corner is very true.
Silky smooth by Josh McClure. Colonels are shooting well from beyond the three-point ring tonight. Ball's on the floor. Malik Stone trying to get away. And Dalrick Beard wants to call a timeout to save the possession. Let's take the timeout, too. Colonels leading by 20, 61-41. 6.5 to play in the fourth on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
At the beginning of this fourth quarter, Bob, which was about 90 seconds ago, we said the Hawks still had a chance if they came out fast. Unfortunately for them, it's been the Colonels that have come out fast. Altavista on top, a full 20 points now. Inside it goes to Ray Inge from the left side of the paint. He had a man draped around his arms, and that's a foul.
Nelson Dews, was that aforementioned? I think that's his second.
On the court for the Colonels, Traquan Farmer, Nelson Dews, Daquan Poindexter, Josh McClure, and Mateo Malback. You were right. It's Nelson Dews' second foul. Colonels have 4 as a team. Oh, back to the memory. Should I?
Oh, yeah, I thought we were done, but yeah, go ahead.
2002, I was not done. Kenny Hunt lit up the Hawks for 20 in the first half. And then, remember, we're talking about a packed house here, Bob. Waiting line, forming at 4:30 in the afternoon to get in the game. Free throw no good, by the way. And someone pulled a fire alarm at halftime. They cleared the gym. Halftime ended up taking about 25 or 30 minutes, which is, of course, about 20 minutes longer than normal. They bring everybody back in, and unfortunately, it really cooled Kenny down. He did not score again in the second half, so it was strange. You look at the final box score, and you say, oh, Kenny Hunt had 20 points, but they all came in the first half, and obviously very difficult to hold Kenny scoreless in a half, but the Hawks really had a nice defensive adjustment waiting for Kenny Hunt. Here's a foul on the floor, and the Colonels are going to shoot a 1-and-1. Daquan Poindexter will do it.
Hold Kenny scoreless for a quarter.
Great, yeah, absolutely,
Much less a half.
Don't know if Kenny is tuned in. Don't see Kenny Jr. or Sr. in the audience as I scan. But again, this gym is pretty full. We should kind of tell that story too, Bob. The crowd has seen a good game. They've been into it. They've come alive at various points in the game. It's been a nice atmosphere here in the gym tonight for the Colonels and the Hawks. Free throw no good. Stone going to drive to the lane with the right hand. Can't find the hole. Sucked back up and in by Lance Bain. That won't go. Another try by Ray Inge. Colonels denied 3 point-blank opportunities there for the shot. Bunnies, as Bob Alvis calls them. They could not get any of the bunnies in the hole. 3 by Daquan Poindexter. No good. High rebound collected by Ray Inge outside the paint. Stone's going to bring up the left sideline for the Hawks. Up ahead to Bain. Bain can't finish from the left side. And Poindexter's got a rebound. Now he lost it. Double team, scramble for it. This ball ends up in the first row to our good friend Ronnie Briles. Colonel super fan. He'll ship it on back to the ref. Oh, Ronnie can shoot it. Yes. I don't know if Big OB's still listening. I'd love to get Oscar and Ronnie in a 3-point shooting contest and find out.
Hopefully it'll go better than our free throw shooting contest many years ago.
Good point. Traquan Farmer, hook shot from the inside of the lane won't go. Lost the ball. Malback saves it for the Colonels. Just over 5 to play in the ball game.
We're past my 2-minute mark of intensity by the Hawks, but I'll tell you, they're still keeping it.
They're still playing hard. Sometimes it's not always directed in the right way. Malback was trying to throw a bullet pass to Cameron Hughes along the baseline and ends up off the back wall out of bounds.
Colonels back in action on Tuesday with Kyle and Oscar in Ringgold.
Always a blast. It'll be a tough game. Shot won't fall. Rebounded left post by Lance Bain. His turnaround, Jay, no good. Colonels clear the board, and they're headed back on the offensive attack. They lead by 20. 61-41, Colonels on top. Coach Harris urging his guys to slow things down, spread the court. He wants Gretna to come out of the zone Hawks zone defense not extending past the three-point ring just yet. Now I think they're going to match up man-to-man, or at least get out and double-team a bit. Nelly crossover. Nice little wraparound pass by Nelson Deuce.
You got to watch where they're taking it with Poindexter. He is right in front of Coach Harris, and if two defenders collapse on him early, you cannot pass it to the man in orange. His eligibility is up.
He was involved in that game I was talking about with the fire alarm game. Nelson Deuce.
I think that was in the BB era.
Three.
Before Bob, because I don't think I was around yet.
Oh, nice find. Malback was all alone underneath the bucket. The Colonels really drew out the Gretna Hawk defense. Malback awaiting patiently for the pass from Daquan Poindexter, and an easy finish for two. Colonels up 22.
Hawks have not scored this quarter, and I don't know if this is becoming a Friday theme where people are having difficulties in the fourth as Stone fires it from the corner. He was a good 3 feet behind the three-point line.
Rattles in the catch-and-shoot three. It was a long-distance call there from Malik Stone. Good player. Well, there's a steal pardon me. Colonels held on to it. Now they lost it. Now they get it back. Wild sequence there. Tap up back ahead to Malik Stone. Nobody really had possession for about 6 seconds. Shot doesn't fall for Stone. He hit the deck hard. He's not in good shape. He wants a timeout. He's injured. He hurt himself over there laying on the baseline. He signaled to the referee, hey, I need some time here.
Bain got the bucket, by the way. 63-46 as the Gretna coaching staff will go out and check on him real quick. You know, my daughter, Anna, asked me, Dad, what do the good old days mean? I should have just told her Altavista Gretna back about 10 years ago.
Right. Let's step aside for this injury timeout. Don't know quite how long it might take, so Bob and I will catch our breath. You can do the same. 3:12 left to play in the ball game. 63-46. Colonels on top over the Hawks. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. House salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
Go chant your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Injury timeout is done. We return to basketball. Colonel's ball. Jamal Thornhill in the game. He flips to Jacob Adams, who has entered the action for the Altavista Colonels. Thanks for joining us here on 105.5. Friday Night Hoops doesn't get much better than this. Poindexter, lay-in, finish, goes down. Daquan Poindexter caught about 2 feet behind the three-point line, Bob. 2 dribbles and some long steps got him right to the edge of the 10 for 2. 2:42 left to play in the ball game. Colonel's lead. Here's a steal. Pick. Look out below. Poindexter can't finish the dunk. He puts his head in his hands, and the former players urge him to get back and not worry about it. He might get another try. I think he's just going to settle for the lay-in this time. Yeah, Poindexter's gassed. He is out of it, and he wanted the dunk. He'll settle for a pitchback two-pointer. Adams got bodied up as Lance Bain was going to the hoop. Shot won't fall in.
Colonel's up 21 now, too, so
getting a little hectic.
This is where you really want your team to play it as clean as possible.
And Mormon lost it.
Mormon went backcourt. I think Mormon kind of lost direction of where he was for a moment.
They lost the ball momentarily.
Gretna's getting the ball. I don't know why.
I don't know.
They're upset unless.
I don't know if they are. Coach Harris called a timeout, it looks like.
Oh, well, that's why.
Timeout on the floor. Let's take it, too. Let's settle some things down. We'll step aside for a moment. Colonel's lead, 67-46. 2 and change left to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels up 21 in action again Tuesday night from Ringgold against the Dan River Wildcats. Early thoughts on that while we got a chance, Bob?
Well, yeah, I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. I say hi to my friend Jerry Eccles while you're down there, a big Wildcat supporter. But I'll tell you, if you think Altavista looks different this year, well, Dan River's got some new faces too. So make sure you pick up a roster before you head in, because that is a lot of new faces from the rivalries we've seen over the past 3-4 years.
It is, but I'm going to throw a however or a but in here.
It wouldn't be
Zamar
you
Anderson is still around, and Rodney Womble is still around. Those guys have a lot of experience. Adams getting mugged, double-teamed by a couple Gretna Hawks, and he's going to go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. That's the 9th team foul on the Hawks. Some fans starting to exit the building a little bit early, but most everybody's sticking around. And, again, if you joined us late, it is a very good crowd. Over 90% full here from Altavista.
The point of the story was, though, there are a lot more new faces than old.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with you on that wholeheartedly. I just, had to not one-up
the advocate.
Had to play the counter card there. Adams drains the first, and the sophomore for the Colonels will shoot the second one. Cameron Pinnell in the ball game now for the Altavista Colonels. His first action.
Colonels led by 15, by the way, after the third. Now they lead by 22.
Yep.
23 if that free throw went down. I wasn't paying attention.
It did. And Bob got on me for not paying attention earlier.
I was looking away.
Anyway, Jordan Witcher checking in the ball game now for the Colonels. He joins Pinnell, Mormon, Hughes, and Thornhill. Man-to-man defense still for the Altavista Colonels.
And again, I think these are important minutes. These are not just throwaway minutes, as Stone will go to the free throw line.
Certainly are. These guys work hard in practice. They've gotten a little bit of action here as we get a special guest in the press box, Bob. Normally we give the shout-outs on the radio. We get to give it in person. My dear friend Jermaine Wade stopping by to check out. We'll hear some from Jermaine here in a little bit. He's an old Chatham guy. Old Chawan, weren't they the Braves, Jermaine? The Hawk. Oh, they changed the name. Okay, right, with the Native American. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Malik Stone sinks the first one. Second one hits off the front of the iron and won't go. Hawks have an offensive rebound. This is Inge. Kicks out to Travis Hogan for three, and it's good. Held the follow-through. Hawks continue to play hard. They trailed by 19, though, with just over 90 seconds to play. Thornhill, double team, works it to the near sideline, looking for somewhere to go. Coach Harris is going to call a timeout to save it.
30.
Let's take a 30-second timeout with 90 seconds left to play in the ball game. 69-50. Colonels on top by 19 on 105.5 KD Country.
Installing Atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted Atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels up 19 as we are in the last moments of this one here, as the Gretna Hawks have made the trek up 29, and Altavista just looking to close this one out. It's Cameron Hughes over to Thornhill. Thornhill stuck it inside. The ball was deflected, and it's going to stay to Altavista. Colonels will inbound it as Cameron Pinnell is going to be on the baseline. Pinnell is going to be defended by Harris, who will guard the inbounds. Now over to Cameron Hughes.
Did you miss me, Bob?
You were gone? I didn't notice. Hughes with the basketball over to Thornhill. Thornhill lost it, but it's picked up by Witcher. Witcher in some trouble and bumped, and he will go to the line for two.
I know we've said it before, but I'm going to say it again, Bob. Can't stress enough, the Hawks continue to play hard. And for a team that has not won a game this year and is down 19, you got to like to see that. You know what I mean? It's easy to give up, especially when you're down by this much. But they haven't done that. They've continued to get after it. First one no good by Jordan Witcher. Colonels are going to clear the lane, send everybody back around midcourt.
Can you do that motivational speech again while I pull out my recorder? It was very inspiring right there. But you're right. I mean, I'm poking fun at you.
I freeze up under pressure. Stone, NBA range three, skips off the iron, no good.
Hughes with the board. And Hughes will just look to clear this one out as we're under a minute to go. Hughes zigzags between the defense, almost winds up in the lap of Phil Tinsley. Probably took a couple steps. And they're going to call a foul, even though Troy Harris thought he was going to call a timeout. Dowrick Beard Can't believe it.
Yeah,
and
Coach
they'll
Harris.
call a push.
Coach Harris was thinking about the timeout. It's free throws.
Foul on Hogan.
Cameron Pinnell went down to inbound the basketball, but Cameron Hughes is going to shoot 2 free throws here. 52 seconds remaining. Bob, make sure everybody sticks around for the Subway post-game show. Plenty of compelling conversation.
Where we really
this.
let our hair down.
Oh, what hair we have.
Hey, you've got a full head. I don't think I need to be making any
Knock on
hair
wood.
jokes.
You just jinxed me.
Wait till you get my age, son.
Hughes missed the first. Second one on the way. Rattles
In and out.
Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Gretna with the rebound. No, I figure I might as well get some practice for later down the road. You never know what could happen. Stone with the basketball in the left wing. Man-to-man defense. Stone got through, and they're going to call a foul. And it's going to go against the Hawks. Offensive variation.
The moving screen on Ray Inge. He looked like he was solid for a moment, but then he kind of leaned to try and catch the Colonel defender coming by. And good call by the officials.
Yep. Most famous Inge that you know of?
Brandon.
NC State had a good basketball player, Kenny Inge.
That's true.
From years back. Stone with the basketball. Stone gets 2 in to go from the left side, 69-52.
Stone is quietly well, maybe not so quietly. He's put together a pretty good night. Lit up the scoreboard for the Hawks.
Colonels may not shoot again. And as I say that, a baseline layup by Traquan Farmer as he got around, and it's 71-52.
Nice one-hand bounce pass by Hughes to find him.
Stone from Hurt for 3.
Long
71-55.
Off the ATM. The bank is open late there for Malik Stone, and that's going to do it. We have played a full game here from Altavista High School, and the Colonels have a win. 71-55. Colonels win over the Gretna Hawks. They improved to 11-2. Subway postgame show is on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Harris and the Altavista basketball team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on a winning note with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Connect with Altavista's Economic Development Director, Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
KCD Maintenance. Kenny can do it. If you've got a home or business maintenance issue, Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. That's 665-1333 for KCD Maintenance. Painting, building maintenance, minor construction, and more. Kenny can do it. Call 665-1333. Again, that's 665-1333. KCD Maintenance.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney alongside. The Colonels come out, and you can put another one on the left side, the win column, 71-55 over the Gretna Hawks. Altavista will head down the road and meet up with the Wildcats of Dan River on Tuesday. And Gretna will carry on as well. Colonel's only a one-game week next week, I believe, Mr. Haney.
Yeah,
off on Friday.
Off on Friday, and that's a rare one. They've been used to normally the 2-game weeks, some 3-game weeks, although not as many as last year. But the Altavista go ahead.
Has winter reared its ugly head yet? Because you could see some 3-game weeks down the road. Hopefully not any 4s, but, I mean, you never know.
Please don't mention the S word, Bob. They're in overtime down in Gretna, the Lady Colonels and Lady Hawks. 4 quarters, just not enough. They're all tied up at 38. We will
going into the Major's house.
That's right.
Major Herb Daniel and Deborah Spencer, the two court generals squaring off down there. Want to take a little breather and come back, or keep the party going? Well, it's your show.
I'm just glad folks at home have joined the party. Maybe some folks leaving the gym are tuning in. We're so glad to have you here on the Subway postgame show. Colonels get the win over the Gretna Hawks. More right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, it's the Subway postgame show. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney,
and Jermaine Wade.
It's sad when I'm kind of the, I don't want to say the voice of reason, but I'm the one having to keep the trail on track a little bit.
Normally it's me.
It is.
You're saying? Yeah. Well, when the Superfly enters the building, you throw out all the rules. Just kind of like when the Gretna Hawks enter the building.
When you catch up with old friends, you throw the rule book out the window.
Need more time on the post-game stats? I can certainly give you more time. Okay.
We can talk about something else if you want to. I mean, I'm fine with that. But, I mean, I've got finals from this game. I mean, I don't have them from everything, but I've got final stats.
Subway post-game show is always a blast when Kyle Haney and Bob Alvis are involved. You add the third wheel, the Superfly, into the mix, and it gets even more fun. Yeah, I'll talk about some things a little bit. Colonels get a big win here tonight, Bobby, but what did you see maybe that Altavista needs to work on? Certainly too many turnovers, probably, correct?
Yeah, I think Altavista kind of got into what Gretna was game flow tonight, and I don't think Altavista really controlled and did what they wanted to do as much. So that would be where I would say. But, I mean, who am I? I'm just a color guy tonight. But I mean,
you've got an opinion, though.
Yeah, and, I mean, you know, I just think Altavista, based on when I have seen them the past few Friday nights, last week, were dynamic against Appomattox.
That was at least the A game, maybe the A-plus game against Appo, right?
Tonight, I mean, you get a passing grade because you win. But, I mean, I think they're going to have to clean up a little bit before Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Harris is going to be upset in the locker room after this.
It wasn't terrible.
Right, no, it wasn't terrible at all. And you got to give, again, the Hawks a lot of credit. They showed a lot of fight, a lot of heart. They battled all the way to the end. But I do think Coach Harris is going to point out some things. Hey, we need to clean up this, we need to clean up that, particularly if we want to have some success down against the Dan River Wildcats, who, like you said, Bob, some new faces. Same name on the uniform, though, and Dan River is good
Same
again
man
this
coaching
year.
him. Yep. Kenny Murphy's still there. He's got a state title to his name.
Subway post-game show. Let's do some stats now. Unofficial, as always, brought to you by Bob Alves. Go ahead.
One more thing I was going to say. I mean, if I had to pick the one thing that the Colonels probably need to clean up, some of those passes hitting the walls, I mean, that's just unacceptable.
Threw a couple in the front row there,
Defensively, I don't think they were bad. I think Gretna was just making some crazy shots, so to speak. I mean, you're defending the shots well. If they want to shoot from 3 feet behind the three-point line, give it to them. But, I mean, you know, Gretna made some shots that were a little bit unorthodox. So I don't think the defense was atrocious. Now I am ready for some numbers, if you don't mind, sir. I can tell you really want them. Cameron Hughes with 7. Nelson Dews, a low night for Nelly. Only 5 tonight for Nelson. I mean, talk about that real quick.
Well, that's an excellent point. I mean, Nelson Dews coming into the game averaging 12.4 for the Colonels. He's the only Colonel that averages in double figures, although McClure is very close at 9.4. So I think, if anything, Bob, it speaks to Nelson's selfishness. He didn't mind passing the ball. He doesn't mind facilitating to some other people. And Nelson didn't hit a three-point shot, so that's rare. I mean, normally Nelly connects at least once or twice from beyond the arc.
All 5 came in the second quarter also. 16 from Malbeck, 9 from Poindexter, 2 from Mormon, 2 from Farmer. Galliard had 14. I thought a great night by Galliard, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
2 points from Jacob Adams. McClure was also sneaky good tonight. He had 14 as well.
That is sneaky.
So, I mean, very quiet 14 from Josh as they were really spaced out. And that is your scoring for the Altavista Colonels. For the Gretna Hawks, I mean, it was a spirited effort, no doubt, by Gretna. 15, 18, 24 points by Stone. Led all scorers without a doubt. 5 points from Hogan. A good night, too, for Mr. Bain. Bain had 4 free throws, say that 5 times fast, in the first half, and 8 points in the second half, totaling 12 points. And finally, Harris with 14, all in the first half. So you had 3 Hawks in double figures. Unfortunately, you didn't have much else if you're Gretna.
Yeah, the Hawks, what a performance from Stone. I mean, he's the real deal, I think. We've seen a lot of great guards this year, Bob. Stone falls right in there with those guys. Radio Shack player of the
25,
game.
25, I think I shorted
25?
Yep.
Okay. We'll go with 25. If anything, estimate on the other.
I get on you
side,
for
right?
math, and now I'm having troubles with it tonight.
Terrible at math. Never admitted being
Right.
good at math. Let's collect the thoughts. The Radio Shack player of the game will be along right after this. It's a Subway post-game show. The Altavista Colonels get the win, their 11th of the season, this time against the Gretna Hawks. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Sam with Best Bet Motorcycles. We started business over 5 years ago with only 10 vehicles and a simple concept to help people out that had less than perfect credit and give them good quality cars. Over the years, we evolved into 2 lots in Central Virginia with over 60 cars in inventory, and we do all types of budget, all types of credit. So remember, if your credit's less than perfect, give us a call here at Best Bet Motor Sales. All cars come with a 90-day, 5,000-mile warranty with the best spec back guarantee. So for a fun, stress-free buying experience, give us a call. Best Bet Motor Sales, Route 29 South.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here. I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
Well, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show, getting ready to put the bow in the box. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney here having a blast from Altavista High School. And KH, it's that time. Radio Shack player of the game. I'll go first.
Excellent.
For Gretna, I think it's academic. Malik Stone gets my vote. I mean, he's an exciting guard. He needs some help. He's going to need some help on several nights just to get a lot of people in the books to help him out. But 3 players in double figures, but then when you only had like 2 more is in points, that hurts.
It does. I'm going to agree with you on my Radio Shack player of the game pick. I think you got to go with Malik Stone. It's not all about points, but he was a good defender as well.
Try and win without him, though.
Exactly. Team really seems to revolve around Malik Stone. On the other side for the Colonels, I've got some ideas. It's not so clear cut and dried, though.
Go for it.
You want me to go first? Again, it's not all about the points, but I'm going to go with the high-scoring man for the Alta Vista Colonels, Mateo Malbec. Boy, the threes really energized the crowd. His defense always brings the Colonels to life. Bob, your thoughts on your pick for Radio Shack Player of the Game?
Love the choice. Josh McClure would be another great direction to go.
How about the guys with the dunks, Daquan and Lawrence Galliard?
I'm going with Lawrence Galliard. I mean, he had that streak where he just had 8 points in the third quarter. And the thing that wins me over tonight is he just was not doing it 5 feet and in. He was coming out, free throw line extended, high post, taking the basketball, driving and dunking. And then my other players of the game, obviously Eleanor. I think you're Swellenor. And Rachel from Florida. It sounds like a radio caller that we got calling in. Hello, Rachel from Florida. You're on the
Rachel from Florida, long-time caller, first-time listener. I wish somebody would reverse that one time. Bob, before we hit the road, Bob's losing it. Before we hit the road, I've got some.
Do you know what you said? Or did you just, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
I reversed it intentionally. Bobby, serious stuff here. Lady Colonels have won on a buzzer beater 3 from Erica Mabry to knock off the Lady Hawks in overtime. Alta Vista Colonels, 4 wins in a row. Lady Colonels, that is. Erica Mabry with the game winner.
And that Gretna
I don't know if
team,
it was quite a walk-off. The text from Dave Mabry, I think he's probably excited because obviously that's his daughter. I don't know if it was necessarily a walk-off or they had to turn around and play some defense, but either way.
That Gretna team is very scrappy. That Gretna girls team is very, very scrappy, and they make you move all over the floor. Anytime you go on the road.
Yeah, that's probably a game,
win.
I imagine, just from the overtime, the score, the rivalry. That's a game that people are going to be talking about a lot that were at that game. You know who we talk about a lot? Our starting lineup. The folks that make it all possible. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. English's Your Complete Home Center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu. They're on Main Street in Alta Vista. KCD Maintenance, Kenny Can Do It Maintenance. Call 665-1333. That's 3 3s, Bob. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The Alta Vista Office of Economic Development, helping Alta Vista grow. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. The Moose Family Center in Alta Vista, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Shout out to my buddies Mike Hansen and Jerry Motley. I think they might have been tuned in tonight down there at the Moose, having a good time as always. We've also got to thank Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust, Route 29 just south of the airport. And your streaming online audio brought to you by Chad Rakos, your Allstate agent in Windhurst. Fans are always in good hands with Chad Rakos. We had a lot of people using that online audio tonight, Bob. They were listening all over the country tonight to hear the Alta Vista Colonels knock off the Gretna Hawks. It's going to wrap it up for us. Next time we talk to you, Tuesday night from Ringgold, Alta Vista travels to take on the Dan River Wildcats. Subway pregame show around 6:45. For Troy Harris, for Rachel, for Eleanor, for the Superfly, Jermaine Wade, and for the best in the business, Bob Alvis. This is Kyle Haney wishing you a good Friday night. Drive safe out there. Keep listening to the Real Country on 105.5 KD Country.